Namaste. Providing inclusive and equitable education. Leave no one behind. In this episode, the primary challenges faced by well-meaning governments are revealed using the SDGs as the basis for comparison and information from other sources to inform and understand the country's justification for their falling short of targets agreed upon. In terms of leaving no one behind, the global campaign has brought basic literacy to almost include every person on earth with the ability to read, write, and apply basic arithmetic skills in their daily lives, which is a great achievement. While progress has been made, achieving universal functional literacy and numeracy by 2030 remains ambitious, as collective efforts, innovative approaches, and sustained investments, however necessary, are allocated to keeping the population alive, with education finding a place far behind other development sectors. Globally, the median expenditure on public education was 4.4% of GDP in 2017, which is above the minimum benchmark of 4% specified in the Education 2030 Framework for Action. However, there are regional variations, with Eastern and Southeastern Asia having an expenditure of 3.4%, while Latin America and the Caribbean reached 5.1%. Moreover, in OECD countries, the total public expenditure on primary to tertiary education as a percentage of total government expenditure for all services averaged 11% in 2019. Basic education level. The labor force participation rate for females with basic education varies across countries. For instance, in Afghanistan in 2021, it's 19%. In Albania in 2019, it's 48%, and in Algeria 2017, it's 12%. High education level. The employment rate for men and women with a high educational level is generally higher. In the European Union in Q3 2020, 87% of men and 81% of women with high education were employed. Low education levels. Men and women with low education levels have lower employment rates. In the European Union in 2020, the employment rate for men with low education was 66%, while for women it was 43%. Literacy and education levels depend on the available resources for their embedment into the fabric of life, as the relationship between an educated and skilled community and increased productivity is better understood. Literacy and education levels depends on the available resources for their embedment into the fabric of life, as a relationship between an educated and skilled community and increased productivity is better understood. However, it is now obvious that as countries improve their Human Development Index rating, they have more resources to invest in sectors such as education and health that directly improve the nation's productivity, but are slower to evidence their benefits, unlike agriculture, mining, logging, and other cash-oriented businesses. One reason for the continuing migration of populations to countries with better HDI ratings is the offer of good governance, economic stability, employment, and peace. While efforts to ensure basic literacy is accepted as a worldwide necessity, taking that forward to now include the population's access to higher qualifications and technical skills to service the demand for required services is the step nations have committed to addressing. However, the most important of the challenges faced by most member states is their inability to provide a long-lasting period of economic stability, during which time strategies to obtain and utilize resources essential for country development are optimized. The ongoing instability of poor nations prevents them from focusing on education sector, while attention needs to be given to averting possible starvation and civil strife. Governments and businesses now need to support the development of vocational education and training development by one, understanding needed skills by identifying the specific skills required for the future labor market, and two, invest in lifelong learning by encouraging lifelong learning and skills development.